Hello there! I have two types of process, but this one got the attention of you guys, so I'm doing a small tutorial about it. Later I'll explain my other process that I'm enjoying a lot lately, although it's really similar. It just keeps the line apart for the ones like me that hate it. I'd recommend to make enough versions of a raw sketch. Lines don't have to be clean, but you have to be satisfied with the pose, composition, face expression, anatomy, and all that on this part. Always use all the available tools to help you get better result on this part of the process. I really recommend that. I often use 3D models, photos I take of myself, and my last resource is to look up for references online. I prefer to go with the first two. After I'm satisfied with my raw sketch, I start separating roughly the different colors of the character. Usually I start first just picking from the reference, but once I have them, I modify the palette to fit the light setting I imagine for the art. And then, to harmonize the palettes, especially when it's not original art and I have to respect somewhat the basic colors, I use colored light and shadows that are opposites on the color wheel. I tend to make the shadows a multiply layer and the lights on a normal or glow layer, but I also like to play around with layer modes a lot. I use an overlay layer with a third color to make a surface scattering effect where the colors are bright enough. Always keep sketch lines and colors on a different layer separated one of each other. I recommend doing that for every step of the process. It's just in case you want to go back to use them later. Once I'm happy with the lights and colors, I put everything on a separate folder. Lower the opacity and start making cleaner lines based off it. I try not to put too much detail on it because later I'll paint over it. Sometimes I forget and regret a lot. These lines shouldn't be too thick or they will be a bit invasive when you want to do a painting style for your art. Once I have the lines ready, I do a cleaner separation of each color of the character in different layers. I also hate this part, but it's really handy for later. Once you have everything set, make a duplicate version of your sketch colors just in case and flatten them. Use the clean base colors you made and click in the miniature of each layer while pressing Ctrl. You can make a selection out of what you have on that layer. Cut each part of your color sketch and put it together with their respective clean color base, clipping it. And all you have to do from that point is to clean each part. But now you have to only focus on one color at a time, which makes everything a lot easier. If you have parts that are the same color but overlap each other, I recommend to separate them too, so you don't have to worry about borders at this point of the process. Once you have that cleaned up, you can paint on top of everything, making different types of edges, mixing colors better on some parts, adding little details like hairs or accessories that would have been troublesome to have before. I also add some soft lights on top of everything to make the character blend better with the background. On these ones, there's not much free space and I didn't have a detailed background, so I had the colors planned in my head and added them later, or even played around a bit to get them where it looked nice. But you should do the background on the color sketch phase if you have to make one, so everything fits. And that's it. I have to say I don't really like much structure on my process, but not having one made me so much messier and slow. With this, I know I don't enjoy some parts a lot, but I know I'm setting myself up for success, so I don't stress much about important things later that I might have to redo completely sometimes because of not planning enough. And in the end, I end up enjoying a lot more parts I really do like sketching and rendering. So well, I hope it helps. Bye bye!